the bustling city of Lagos lived a girl named Adamma. From childhood, she had been known for her extreme laziness. She only ate, played, and slept, showing little interest in anything else, including school. As the only child of her parents, they saw nothing wrong with her behavior. Instead of correcting her, they pampered her and spoiled her even more. Anyone who dares to advise them against Adamma attitude instantly became their enemy. By the age of 6, Adamma could barely recite the alphabet because she was too lazy to learn. With the help of her parents, she somehow managed to graduate from primary school into the secondary school. However, her attitude remained the same. She slept through most of her classes, completely uninterested in learning. Her classmates often mocked her, but she didn't seem to care. Because of her love for food and lack of physical activity, Adama gained excessive weight as the years passed. By the time she finished secondary school, she was already weighing 100 kg. Even at home, she refused to do the simplest choice. She just sat around all day, eating, sleeping, and gaining more weight. Through bribery and connections, her parents managed to secure her admission into a university. But even in school, Adama's laziness continued. Unlike other students who struggled to balance schoolwork and choice, Adama had a personal maid provided by her parents because they knew she would not be able to take care of herself alone. Everyone around her knew how to be lazy, but she didn't care. She moved around with her chubby body, unbothered by people's opinion. Some of her friends encouraged her to register at the gym. She had no physical activities, but she became angry at their suggestion and cut them off. Eventually, she graduated from the university, and that was when reality hit her parents that they had raised an adult with no skills, no ambition, no willingness to work. Despite their plea, Adama refused to work. They secured job offer for her, but she rejected them. They even suggested opening business for her, yet she refused. She just wanted to sit at home, relax, and continue her routine of eating and sleeping. Her parents became deeply worried and regretted not training her well. It was all their fault. They caused their daughter to be like this. By the time she turned 30, Adama was still living with them. No job, no business, no handwork, no husband. She gained even more weight. Her cheeks were big and fluffy, and she remained completely unbothered. People mocked her parents for spoiling her, but Adama didn't care. Desperate, her parents took her to church for deliverance, hoping for a miracle, thinking it was spiritual. But even after several prayers, she remained the same. They shouted, they threatened, and even begged her, yet nothing changed. One day, they decided to stop giving her money, hoping it would push her to work. But to their shock, Adama still refused to lift a finger. She didn't care if she had no money. She was content just sitting at home. Her parents were at their wits' end. What would they do to save their daughter from herself? Adama was completely unbothered. Social media had become her best friend. She was always online from morning till night, making people wonder what kind of life she was living. Some mocked her, some even body shamed her. But guess what? Adama did not care. She was only concerned with whatever brought her joy. If insults could change her, she would have been a different person by now. One day, her parents decided to teach her a lesson, hoping it would finally make her change. They were determined to push her out of her comfort zone, believing if she faced real life struggles, she might finally learn responsibility. One morning, Adama woke up to a total silence. The usual voices of her parents and house help were gone. Confused, she called out, but no one answered. She grabbed her phone and dialed her mother's number. "We have traveled," her mother's voice came through, firm and unwavering. "We won't be back anytime soon." Adama's eyes widened in shock. "Traveled? What do you mean? How do you expect me to survive?" she yelled. "Figure it out yourself," her mother replied coldly, "and don't bother calling us again." Before Adama could protest, the call ended. She tried dialing again, but both her parent phones were switched off. Panic set in. She ran to the kitchen, hoping to find food, but the shelves were empty. The fridge had been cleared out. There was no electricity, no food, no Wi-Fi, nothing. Even the house help and other workers had disappeared. Frustrated, she stormed back to her room, slamming the door behind her. This isn't fair, she muttered angrily. She grabbed her phone, scrolling through social media to distract herself. But soon, her battery was down to 5%. She reached for a charger, then remembered no light. As the room grew dark, hunger grabbed her stomach. She had never gone to bed hungry before. She tried to sleep, tossing and turning, but there was rumbling in her stomach that kept her awake. Eventually, tiredness won and she drifted off in tears. The next morning, she woke up weak and dizzy. Her stomach ached from hunger. She tried calling her parent again with the little battery she had, still unreachable. She knew she had to do something. Dressing in her simplest outfit, she stepped out of the house. Walking down the road, her leg ached. She wasn't used to walking long distance. Her chubby body felt heavier than ever. She finally spotted a small roadside buka and swallowed her pride and approached the owner. Madam, please, I'm very hungry. Can you give me food? I promise I'll pay you later. The woman's cough. No credit here, but if you wash those plates, I will give you food. Adamma's stomach churned at the sight of the huge pile of dirty plates. She had never washed dishes in her life. She hesitated, but hunger won over pride. Reluctantly, she rolled her sleeve and started washing. But she did it so carelessly that the woman soon yelled, shey you no fit wash plate clean? I no need stress. If you no sabi wash, comot for here. Embarrassed, Adamma took a deep breath and focused, scrubbing properly this time. It was tiring and her hands hot, but when she finished, she was rewarded with a plate of hot food, the first real meal in 2 days. She devoured it with tears in her eyes, but reality hit her. This was just one meal. How will she survive the next day? Determined, she set out to the market, her leg dusty from trekking, a sight she had never imagined for herself. She approached several shops, asking if they needed a sales rep, but most owners turned her down. Some even glanced at her body and shook their head. For the first time in her life, Adamma felt the weight of her choices, and for the first time, she wished she had been different. Fortunately, Adamma found a small store that was willing to hire her as a sales rep. With daily billing, exactly what she wanted and she needed to survive. But was the job going to be easy for her? Not at all. She struggled at first, making simple mistakes that could have cost her a job. But her boss was a kind and patient woman. She took her time to guide her, explaining everything calmly. Adamma knew that if she had been working under someone stricter, she would have been fired within days. Determined to prove herself, she pushed through. Each day, she got better, and gradually, the job became her second nature. Something unexpected happened too. She began losing weight. The daily movement, the standing for hours, working hard helped her shed extra kilo. Within 2 months, she was noticeably slimmer and feeling lighter. Despite her progress, her parents were still nowhere to be found. Their phone remained unreachable and no one could tell her where they had gone. She missed them terribly. She wanted to share everything, how she had learned how to work, how she was no longer lazy, how she had even started enjoying her job. One day, her mother gave her advice that shook her. You are a graduate, Adamma. Why don't you apply for a bigger job? Adamma hesitated. She had no real life experience. Back in the university, she wasn't serious. She sorted out most of her lecturers to pass. What did she even know? But after some encouragement, she decided to give it a try. Rejection poured in. Some company told her she was too old for the position she applied, that they wanted someone younger. Frustrated, and she was at the verge of giving up when one company finally gave her a chance. Overjoyed, she grabbed the opportunity with both hands. This time, she was determined to put real effort. She worked hard, pushing herself beyond her comfort zone. She even registered for a gym, continuing her weight loss journey. Within 6 months, she had transformed not just physically, but mentally and financially. Still, her parents hadn't returned. No word from them, no explanation. She was worried. Where were they? Why would anyone tell her anything? Then one evening, she returned home exhausted from work, and she heard familiar laughter coming from the living room. Her heart pounded. Could it be? She rushed inside, and there they were, her parents, smiling warmly. Before she could say a word, they pulled her into a tight embrace. I'm so proud of you, her mother whispered, tears in her eyes. Adama felt a lump in her throat. For the first time in her life, she knew what true achievement felt like.